Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome to FSU Weather Friday edition. I'm student meteorologist Melissa Geiger, and we have an action-packed show for you tonight, so grab your chocolates and get ready for it. Beautiful sunset starting over Doak Campbell Stadium right now. Cloud cover starting to move in, kind of making things a little bit gloomier. 78 and mostly cloudy over that stadium with a little bit of a breeze coming through as well. And we're just going to see this cloud cover intensifying as we get into the weekend. Cloud cover is going to continue to increase, and we will see rainfall this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Not shaping up to be a great Easter weekend, but hopefully you can enjoy, again, quite a bit of rain coming in on Sunday. But current temperatures, 81 in Tallahassee, pretty much staying high 70s to low 80s still as we get into April. So really seeing those warmer conditions, but that's going to change next week. So make sure you stick around to find out more about that. But as for tonight's headlines, it's going to be pretty quiet across the nation. Tonight we will have our weather trivia and a sneak peek into the 2023 hurricane season forecast. All this and more starting on FSU Weather.
Hello and welcome to FSU Weather Friday edition. We have a great show for you guys tonight, as Melissa was just talking about. So today in Tallahassee, it's been awfully hot, 85 degrees, which is much different than many other places. I know my brother in Alaska this morning was telling me it was -9 degrees there, which is awfully cold. But back in Tallahassee, it's been about 85 degrees today, a little higher than that, and it was a nice hot day outside walking to class. I know it was nice and sweaty outside today, which was quite unfortunate for those people who don't like the heat, but it was lots of sunshine until the late afternoon. The late afternoon, we had some showers that came through due to the heat, but overall, it was a beautiful day, and the sun is still shining, so if you have an opportunity, it may be a good chance to get outside tonight and go on a walk before dinner or right after dinner. That'd be a great opportunity. But again, we have a great show looking forward to tonight, and it's looking like we're going to have to deal with the conditions this weekend. We're going to have the nice rainy conditions, which might be a little downer, and it's going to bring in some chillier weather. We're going to be sitting in the 60s, which is much different than what we've been seeing. But we're going to take a look around town with Elizabeth over at the wall over there.
Thank you, Summer. So yes, first off, we are doing a trivia night right now. So our question is, according to the National Hurricane Center, when was the earliest recorded tropical cyclone formation in the Atlantic in a given year? And here are your choices. You got January 2nd of 1970, January 19th of 1995, February 1st of 2000, and January 3rd of 1938. And make sure to watch our whole show because we will reveal the answer at the end. Now, back to our look over Doak Campbell Stadium right now. We see those clouds moving into the area as we're seeing those storms, as we discussed a little bit earlier in the show. It is currently 78 degrees, so still mild outside, and we have that breeze coming out of the south-southwest at 9 miles per hour. Over at St. George Island, we're seeing it is pretty cloudy over there too, so maybe not the best night to head to the beach. It is 77 down there and winds out of the south at 7 miles per hour. And we saw some rain a little bit north of I-10 about an hour or so ago. So we do have some of those raindrops still on our Bradfordville camera, and it is currently 87 degrees there, so quite warm still under partly cloudy skies and winds out of the south-southwest at 9 miles per hour. And so for our temperatures for the day, we started at our low of 62 at 7 a.m. and we got all the way up to 85 by the early afternoon hours at 2 and 3 p.m. And now we're starting to head down. It is 81 at 5 p.m. And so for our temperature almanac, it was quite warmer than our average for both our high and low. It got to 86 today, and our average is 78 degrees, so almost 10 degrees above average, and it is closer to our record high temperature of 91 degrees than our average. For our pollen, we are sitting pretty low for the majority of everything except for our grass pollen, which is very high right now, so be on the lookout for that. So So we are seeing some of those storms move through, heading to the north and east above I-10 and heading into our southern Georgia counties. Just above Thomasville, it actually it's looking like it's about to cross I-75 right now. So currently here in the greater Tallahassee area, not much going on, but make sure to bring that raincoat just in case. And so for the rest of the Big Bend, we're sitting at 81 here in Tallahassee, 80 in Apalachicola, and 81 in Perry over there. And it's quite muggy as well. We're sitting at 74 our dew point here. It is 63 in Donaldsonville, 68 in Thomasville, and 67 in Valdosta. So quite muggy because we're seeing that rain move through. It's feeling very much like summer than it is for the beginning of April. For tonight, we're going to hit actually the low 50s and actually some upper 40s in southern Georgia. We're sitting at 49 in Bainbridge and 49 in Thomasville and 56 down by the coast. And we're seeing those storms move in tonight and into tomorrow. So that radar for that, we're going to see those clouds move through, and our rain is going to come by in the later afternoon hours. And so for tomorrow, for the rest of the Big Bend, we're going to see those storms move through mid-70s, and tonight 65, and for tomorrow we're going to sit at 75. So how does the rest of the state of Florida look?
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. We're going to look around the state of Florida now, where we do have the sea breeze largely affecting parts of Florida. We have some showers and storms this afternoon, but as you can see where they've moved in, we had a few rumbles of thunder even over the Tallahassee area this afternoon. They did stay mostly west of the area, but as you look into West Tallahassee, you did have some lightning this afternoon, and it may have woken you up. I know some people in the meteorology group chat mentioned on the west side of town that it woke them up. But this is what you see, more of a radar that you would see in the summertime than what you would see in the April time frame. It's a little bit too early for this, in my opinion. But as we look towards South Florida, Miramar Beach, you can see the clouds. You could see from the showers. There were some showers and storms here this afternoon. There's a lot of people out on the beach, though, so hopefully they're paying attention to any potential lightning strikes that may occur out here. It's currently 79 degrees under mostly sunny skies. It doesn't look mostly sunny, but maybe the other direction here, it's more sun than clouds, so it is a calm wind, though, so the sea breeze has already moved well past Miramar Beach. As you look at Tallahassee and the Florida Panhandle, here's where you had your showers and storms moving along the sea breeze. Those showers and storms are now in southwestern Georgia for the most part. But if you know anyone who lives near Panama City and Pensacola who's out on the beach this evening, you may want to let them know that they have some showers and storms that are going to be incoming this evening. If you take a look at downtown Orlando, it looks pretty nice. We got some clouds in the background, but other than that, it looks pretty nice. It is warm, though, 88 degrees. This is much, much warmer than you should be at this time of the year. It's almost 90 degrees today in downtown Orlando. As you look at the radar over North Florida, you can see a few showers and isolated storms along the sea breeze as well. Similarly to up here in the Panhandle, maybe not as much coverage along the East Coast because your winds are out of the east, which tends to favor more storms on the western part of the peninsula. But if you live on the I-75 corridor, keep an eye to the skies this evening. If you're going on vacation in the Keys right now, it looks really nice. So if you're going to be out Duck Key, there's a lot of condos out there. It looks really nice. You've got mostly sunny conditions at 81 degrees. It is a great night to be out and about across South Florida. And as you can see, unless you're right along I-75, it's going to be a pretty nice evening across South Florida. And you look at your current temperatures, they're pretty much in the 80s area-wide. Our dew points are going to be pretty muggy for this time of the year. And as you look into tomorrow's forecast, this is where we have to worry about more storms, especially across the northern part of the peninsula and across the Panhandle. You can see the temperatures cooler the further west you go, but as you get into southern Florida, it's still near 90 degrees. But now I'm going to pass things off to Chase to take a look around the southeast.
Thank you, Nico. It's been a really hot day here in Florida. We were the big red thumb today across Florida. It's been really warm, but as you can see, as we're taking a quick look, zoom out across southeast, we have seen some rain start to move into the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and as well as into New Orleans, Louisiana, where we have that stationary front kind of stalled out right now, but hopefully it'll get moving. Tennessee, you are seeing some clouds in the area as the front has moved through for you folks. And then down in Tampa, we are seeing some beautiful blue skies. Now, taking a look at our weather map, We've got the stationary front set right across here, across the western half of the southeast. We see the rain with it, but that front is actually going to start moving towards the eastern part of the southeast and into our area here locally. Now looking across southeast, you can see where we've had that front make its way through. We've got those colder temperatures into that temperature gradient where the front is actually located, and you can see down in Florida, like I said, the big red thumb, 80 degrees in Miami and 84 in Tampa. However, you were sitting at 47 in Charlotte with the rain. Current winds, we are seeing it a bit gusty as we've had that front move through. We get those north winds that like to come gusting through after a front. And of course, as we move further south, we have those winds pulling up from the south, making it a lot more muggy and a lot more humid. And as we look at the weather move through the southeast, you can see that front start to make its way through. And we start to see by Saturday evening, we see a lot of rain over here in Georgia and the Carolinas up into southern Virginia. We are seeing some isolated storms down in our local area. And then as we continue to move through Saturday to Sunday, we see those storms start to push out. We see those clouds work their way in, but they also too push out. So it's looking like to be a nice Easter for a lot of folks here in the southeast. However, Monday, we are seeing it continue to clear out. It's going to be a gorgeous day for you folks that head off to the beginning of the work week. Very muggy across the southeast. You can actually see those the front work its way through. We've got that kind of lower dew points make their way south as that front finally begins to make its way through the area. And we're going to sit nice dew points across the southeast as we are seeing those mid dew point temperatures. For you folks in Charlotte, the story is going to be rain on Saturday as that front continues to start moving and work its way through your area. Beautiful Easter for you folks on Sunday, and a mild way to end the weekend and start off the work week. In Nashville, you guys are going to look like have a gorgeous weekend, a little bit cloudy on Saturday, mild temperatures, but as we work our way into the end of the weekend and the beginning of the work week, it is going to be a gorgeous, mild beginning of the week. Tampa, you folks, your rain looks like it's going to start moving through Sunday into Monday. We are going to see a bit of a wet Easter for you folks. However, Saturday is going to be a gorgeous day to go out, and Tuesday those storms start clearing out, and we see some mild, warm temperatures. And in New Orleans, you folks are going to see your rain on Saturday, and then you're going to see that front, after it works its way through, clear out. Beautiful temperatures for you folks, and a nice Easter ahead. But we're going to zoom out, and Ryan, what's going on across the National?
Well, actually, we're going to be talking about the tropics first,
Actually,
because we're... Sorry, Nico, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We are going to be talking about that.
Ryan will be talking about the tropics, but first we're going to take a look nationally, and as you can see, we've got a lot of stuff going on the weather map right now. Here's your main system. You've got your stalled out front all across the southeast, and as you look at your national water vapor, you've got the front, you've got all the water, all the moisture, and this is going to move towards the east. You can expect showers and storms this weekend across the southeast, much drier conditions through the center part of the country. As you can see, pretty much everywhere except for Florida, Georgia, and Alabama is below average right now, which is much different than what we've been seeing, although these temperatures are pretty nice. But if you go up to Bismarck, North Dakota at 33, that's a little bit chilly. And you can see dry air pretty much countrywide right now, except Florida, where it feels like summertime. It's currently a dew point of 70 right now in Tallahassee, and that's pretty muggy for this time of the year. And here's where you can see pretty much the whole country below average. Look at Texas right now. Texas is way below average right now. As you look at some of the central plains, you are above average, but the vast majority of the country is below average, which is different than what we've been seeing. And then you look at Florida and Georgia, and we're pretty much doing the exact same thing that we've been doing all spring long, pretty much been above average all spring. And here's where you got your minimum temperatures. You can indicate that it's much more warm and humid at this time of the year than it should be, because when your minimum temperatures are warm and they're closer to your high temperatures, that indicates humid, moist air, and that's exactly what we've been seeing. The other problem, though, is that even though it's been humid, there hasn't been that much in the way of rain across especially the peninsular parts of Florida. They hopefully will get a lot of rain from the system upcoming this week because they are in a drought. But here's where we've got your major drought conditions. Parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, the Texas Panhandle, you desperately need the rain. Hopefully we can get them some rain pretty soon because they're in a severe drought right there. Tallahassee itself is not in a drought, but as you can see, it's pretty much entirely around the area, so we definitely need to continue seeing regular rainfall or we're going to slip back into drought. But where they need it more, the Florida Peninsula, you're in a severe drought. pretty much anywhere south of like a Gainesville to Daytona Beach line. Anywhere south of that, you're in a severe drought, and you want to be very careful right now if you're burning anything outdoors, because you do not want to be the cause of a forest fire. But hopefully this system, it is going to move to the east, and it is expected to produce some rain across the Florida peninsula. So hopefully we can get a decent amount of rainfall from this, because we really need it in the peninsular part of Florida especially. We're definitely going to get a decent amount of rain here in Tallahassee. As you take a look at the northeast, you have a little bit of rain south of Washington, D.C., off the coast of New Jersey and New York. But other than that, the inland part of the northeast is nice. The Pacific Northwest, you've got some showers. The desert Southwest, you have a bit of showers north of San Francisco, but the desert area, it's dry as it normally is at this time of the year. As you look at your overnight temperatures countrywide, it's going to be warm in the southeast. The rest of the country is going to be cooler. And as we look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, here's where we do have more rain than expected across the southeast. And now Ryan will finally talk about the tropical season.
We're finally getting to talk about tropics, and it's actually kind of that time of year to start talking about the tropics, because believe it or not, it's already April. And guess what? Hurricane season less than 2 months away. So we're going to be talking about 55 days until hurricane season, and what are some of the early predictions for hurricane season as we start to get into it. Well, let's first take a look back at last year. So last year last year's Colorado State forecast was for 19 named storms, 9 hurricanes, and 4 major hurricanes. The Weather Channel also made a forecast for 20 named storms, 8 hurricanes, and the same 4 major hurricanes. The season average, a little bit less than that, 14 named storms, and average is about 7 hurricanes per year. Last year, we were just about average, 14 actual hurricanes, 14 named storms, 8 hurricanes, and 2 of them made it to major status, including Hurricane Ian. And taking next year, 13, or at least the AccuWeather prediction is for 13 named storms, which should be keeping us pretty close to normal. So again, we had last season, or for this upcoming season, we're looking at least according to AccuWeather, a slightly below average season. We're going to be seeing that in part due to the El Nino. Last season we saw ourselves in a La Nina pattern in the Pacific, and we'll talk more here about what that means. So La Nina means there's cooler waters in the central Pacific, which is going to create more thunderstorms in the Atlantic, which is going to make it easier for these storms to develop. So you notice all around the Pacific, we'll see all around the cooler waters is where we're seeing the thunderstorms build up, including in the Atlantic, where it makes it easier for hurricanes to develop. Where with El Nino, we're seeing warmer Central Pacific, cooler waters surrounding it, and those warmer waters mean it's actually going to be a little bit warmer and sunnier in the Atlantic. So tropical frequency-wise, again, June 1st is the official start of hurricane season, but as we get into August, September, and October, that's when we kind of reach our peak of hurricane season. So what goes into building a hurricane? Well, we need above 80-degree water temperature as the first ingredient, with converging winds. Those winds are going to create these thunderstorms with enough moisture, and eventually the winds will grab the storm and cause it to make a hurricane. So every hurricane season, we talk about the Saffir-Simpson scale. Hurricane Ian just became a Cat 5 after further analysis. Cat 1, we've got minimal damage. Bring it up to Cat 2, more extensive damage. With the Cat 3, we're going to be looking at some more devastating damage. We've got stronger winds, stronger storm surge, getting up to Category 4 status, catastrophic damage, and then Category 5, which Hurricane Ian was just upgraded to, we're seeing that catastrophic damage. Now I'm going to be passing it off to Chase for a look at the local.
Yes, we're going to zoom back in from the tropics and take a look on what's going on locally. As you can see across our beautiful Doak Campbell Stadium, we are seeing those cloudy skies blocking that normally beautiful sunset we do see this time of year. It is a warm 78 degrees, and it is a bit gusty as we have those south-south winds at 9 miles per hour. Looking across the FSU campus and areas associated with FSU, we've got those clouds in the Sportsplex area. We've got clouds across the Lake Bradford at the Res, and then at our Panama City campus, same story as clouds. But however, you folks along the coast at St. George Island are seeing those upper level clouds, which is giving way to blue skies. Looking at our radar locally, we are seeing some small thunderstorms that began out here in the western parts of Leon County they're starting to weaken and work their way north. However, as we move further west, over in Lafayette County, we are seeing some weaker storms. And our temperatures around the area, very warm. Either side of 80, we are seeing a warm spot with Valdosta and 80 at Apalachicola down by the coast. Looking at tonight, a big cool down near 30 degrees for some areas as we have that front finally move and start to make its way into the area. You folks further up towards the northwest will be seeing that front first, so of course you will be seeing a little more clouds and a little more rain tonight compared to our southern areas. If you are going to go out and try and attempt to look at the stars and the moon, I would not highly recommend this. You're going to have a hard time because it's going to be cloudy across the entire local area. And looking at, as we have those front begin to move through, we start to see some clouds work their way into the area. And as we work our way into Saturday afternoon, we start to see a line of storms out towards the west. We start to work their way towards Tallahassee. Some of these could be severe, and these storms will continue to work their way in Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now, as we look tomorrow, as we do have those clouds in the area and that front start to make its way into the area, we are seeing some cooler temperatures compared to today, a little warmer for you folks down south, and however cooler for you folks up to the north of our local area. Air quality, we are seeing some particulates in the air as we have seen some prescribed burns, and there could be other things in the air, so if you folks are sensitive to stuff in the air or have respiratory issues, you have a moderate risk to seeing some issue that could cause you some issues for tomorrow, so keep that in mind. And pollen across the area. We are seeing high levels of grass pollen. I know I've been seeing a little less yellow in my car, but there still is that yellow there. But however, for trees, weeds, and mold, we are not seeing that much pollen right now. And if we look at our airport, if you're planning on traveling tonight for Easter weekend, it is going to be most likely no delays for you folks this evening and into tonight. We are not predicting any slowdowns for you folks. And then tomorrow morning, we are not predicting any slowdowns for you folks. However, as we do have those storms start to make their way into the Tallahassee area, we could see some slowdowns. So hopefully if you are traveling home for Easter, you do that tonight or tomorrow morning. If you are going to the beach tomorrow, would not recommend. It's going to be stormy. We are seeing a medium UV index, so make sure you wear that sunscreen, and a high risk for rip currents in a cool day, and that water is going to be about the same temperature actually as the air. Now looking at our 7-day, Saturday we are seeing some rain for the area. However, with that rain brings us cool temperatures for Easter, and then we can see that rain bleed over into Monday, and then it's going to be a slow warm-up into next week, and we could see some rain return to the area on Friday. Now, Summer, I hear there's some sports going on across the FSU area.
Correct. FSU is going to have a nice sports weekend. However, the weather's not going to be too great for sports. However, we are going to be seeing sports still happening as the sports may take place before the rain. So we're going to start out with baseball. Baseball is a lovely sport starting first pitch at 11 a.m. As you can see, 71 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful day for baseball. I may even go out and watch the game here in Tallahassee. But by the end of the game, it's going to be slightly rainy. So hopefully they can get the game through before that rain pulls through. Otherwise, we're going to be having some delays during the game, which makes it even longer. So we're going to also have some beach volleyball tomorrow. Again, starting out 11 a.m., 71 degrees, so hopefully the sand's not too hot for them there. And then as we work our way up till 1 o'clock, we're still going to be seeing partly cloudy skies, and again in the 70s. With those lower temperatures, at least they won't be in the 80s like they were today. That would be brutal for the volleyball players there. And women's tennis is going to be taking on Louisville tomorrow in Tallahassee here around noon. It's going to be about 72 degrees again, and unfortunately it's going to start to rain midway through their match tomorrow. It's going to be about 74 degrees, so it's still going to be quite warm. However, again, it's going to be raining, so that's just going to be quite unfortunate, and hopefully they can get through part of the match prior to the rain coming through. And golf, men's golf is going to be in Virginia, so they shouldn't be seeing any rain over there. However, they're going to be seeing quite chilly conditions, 36 degrees in the morning. They're going to be needing jackets in the morning. However, by the time they get through around 5 p.m., it's going to be 64 degrees. They may be able to just be in long pants and take off their jackets and enjoy the beautiful weather out there and the nice, gorgeous sun. And while we're talking about sports, and as I'm a Philadelphia native, I want to shout out the Philadelphia Phillies as they're doing a great job right now with their game. But again, we're taking it back to here in Tallahassee, and we're going to be moving on with Ryan. And Ryan, can you tell us what's going on around town here?
Sure thing, Summer. So around town, we're looking pretty wet right now. We saw those storms move through the Tallahassee region not long ago. Now it's starting to push more north of I-10. We're also seeing a couple pop-up showers near Downing Park and across state. So if you're heading east on I-10 tonight, you might run into a shower or two. Take a look at the future radar. Storms are going to clear out tonight. Clouds will remain, but then notice off to our west in the tomorrow afternoon is when we're going to start to see more storms start to develop along the line, and that's really going to bring in our chance for rain over the next couple of days. So tomorrow, if you're going to Warm Grunton, 70 degrees to start tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. At noon is when we're going to start to see more showers and storms that start to push away in 75 degrees. But if you are heading out to stop shopping tomorrow, you might want to bring something to keep you warm because 75 degrees is a lot cooler than we've been having lately. Tomorrow for a dog walk, similar conditions. Early in the morning, dogs' feet might not be as hot. So I guess that's one good thing about the rain coming in is we're going to see some cooler temperatures with for our furry friends. Tomorrow as well, if you're going out for a drive, earlier in the day you should be a little bit better. As we get later on in the day, the roads might get a little more wet and it might not be as fun to drive. I know when I drive through rainy conditions, it's not always as fun. And also remember, don't use your high beams and don't use your flashers when you're driving through heavy rain. 81 degrees if you're flying out of Tallahassee tomorrow. No delays are expected and clear skies for most of our airports tomorrow. Most of the major airports in the United States looking pretty good for the next few days, delays-wise. If you're going out stargazing tonight, not the best conditions with those showers and storms around, but fair conditions around. Most 60 degrees by lunchtime, 64 degrees by 4 p.m. So definitely a cool one for your Easter Sunday. Monday, we're going to make it back to 70, and then Tuesday, 75 degrees after those showers and storms pass out. Now I'm going to pass it over to Melissa and Elizabeth at the desk.
Thanks, Ryan. I know I've really been disappointed. Easter weekend isn't looking to be all that pretty. You're going to see rain yet again. We're really gotten into that rain pattern on the weekends every week.
Oh yeah, I had wanted to go to the beach this weekend, but nope, that plan has washed out. No
Yeah,
pun
so
intended.
it might be kind of a washout for a lot of people this
Yeah.
weekend. I know it's going to be really muggy, really nasty, and actually really cold going into Sunday as well, especially if you're a Florida native. Some people think that's warm, but I personally don't.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I do not like these like close to 90-degree temperatures, especially now at the beginning of April. No, not for me.
See, I was loving it today. Beautiful weather today, but there's a lot going on. Hopefully the week will clear up a little bit. We do need that rainfall though, because there is a bit of a drought going on. So maybe this will help alleviate those conditions.
Hopefully, yeah, because it is very dangerous with these drought conditions, especially in southern and central Florida where they're seeing that.
Yeah, but getting into spring. But follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather. We've got lots more to share with you and be posting all the time.
Yep, and so we're also on Facebook at FSUweather.com.
And you can watch us live if you're not right now on YouTube at FSU Weather. We stream live on every weeknight from 6 to 6:30. And follow us on Instagram as well. We also have a TikTok account you can follow if you're into that. So make sure you're staying tuned there as well. We got lots of information to bring you. But for now, I'm student meteorologist Melissa Geiger.
And I'm student meteorologist Elizabeth Temple.
Have a great night, Tallahassee, and try to stay dry this weekend. Happy Easter.
Yeah, and if you guys forgot, we brought up some trivia at the beginning of the show. According to the National Hurricane Center, when was the earliest recorded tropical cyclone formation on record? That's going to be letter D. January 3rd of 1938 was the earliest tropical cyclone on record. Hope you all have a great night. Thank you so much for watching FSU Weather. Happy holiday weekend to y'all.